If there's one thing every player needs in classic World of Warcraft, it's gold, and a lot of it. Hello everyone, my name is Icosiel, and in this guide I'm going to show you some very lucrative cooking recipes to help you earn as much gold as possible. Most folks who have been to my channel or watched my streams know how much I enjoy fishing in classic WoW. It's how I make most of my gold while I level, and I have never had any problems earning the gold I need to pay for my level 40 and 60 mounts. However, there's more cooking recipes that can earn you gold than just fishing recipes, so in this video, I wanted to bring it all together for you to have an easier time accessing the information you need. Keep in mind that the information presented here was during Phase 2.5, so some information may change depending on the phase you're currently in. Also understand that any sale pricing shown is from my server, and subject to change according to your server economy. Now with that said, let's get started. When looking for cooking recipes, you want to look for foods that players will consistently need for raiding and PvP. That way you know the demand will generally always be high. The foods I want to talk about in this section are Dirge's Kickin' Chimerok Chops, Run Tum Tuber Surprise, and Stamina Food. Now Dirge's Kickin' Chimerok Chops are not currently available at the time this video was made, but I expect them to be when either Phase 4 or Phase 5 begins. Rather than make another video about them later, I will talk about them now. This is by far the best food in Classic for tanks, as it gives a plus 25 stamina buff, which greatly outperforms any other recipe. This epic recipe is a quest reward during the questline The Scepter of the Shifting Sands. In the description below, I put a link to a great 3-part series that details this quest by MadSeasonShow so that you can use it as a reference. If you're one of the lucky few to get this, I have no doubt that you can make a fortune from it, but you will need to collect hot spices, Chimerok tenderloin, deep rock salt, and goblin rocket fuel to make it. Your main ingredient, Chimerok tenderloin, drops from the elite Chimeroks found in Feralis on the Isle of Dread. Run Tum Tuber Surprise became available when Dire Maul was released in Phase 1.5. The recipe drops from the keyholder imp Pusillan in Dire Maul East. It has a very high drop rate, but it's not 100%, so you should get it pretty quickly. This recipe is used heavily by mana-using classes such as the Druid, Hunter, Paladin, and Warlock for its intellect buff. The reagent to make this food also drops from Pusillan, but can also be collected by the warped wood pods found all over the instance. Be careful though, because if you get too close, the pods can explode and poison you. On my server, Run Tum Tuber Surprise sells for about 1 to 2 gold per item. There are several recipes that provide a plus 12 stamina and spirit buff for 15 minutes, and all sell for good prices, but vary wildly from server to server. In general, they tend to sell between 5 and 10 gold per stack from what I have seen. Those recipes are Monster Omelette, Spiced Chili Crab, and Tender Wolf Steak, and are heavily used by tanks. The recipe for Monster Omelette can be purchased by Himmick and Winterspring for both factions, or Maligan for the Alliance, and Bale for the Horde in Felwood. Your best place to farm for giant eggs is in the hinterlands, or Winterspring, killing any feathered beast in those zones. The recipe for Spiced Chili Crab can be purchased by Krigan Talswan by the Lighthouse in Westfall for the Alliance, while Horde can purchase the recipe from Banalash in Stonard or Uthok in Gromgal Base Camp. To collect tender crab meat, you want to kill the monstrous and silk crawlers in the Swamp of Sorrows, or the southern sand crawler in Stranglethorn Vale. The tender wolf steak recipe can be purchased by both factions from Dirge Quickleave in Tanaris, while the Alliance has another option of purchasing it from Truck Wildbeard in the hinterlands. You will need to collect tender wolf meat from any warg, wolf, or hound at or near level 50 in Eastern Plaguelands, Burning Steppes, or Felwood for the best possible drop rates. I talked about these fish in my Fishing for Gold guide, but in this video I will only be talking about the fish that can be consumed, as well as update the information presented there. Your top earning fish recipes are grilled squid, nightfin soup, and sagefish delight. Grilled squid is used by feral druids, hunters, rogues, ret paladins, and enhancement shamans, and the recipe can be purchased from Gikix in Steamweedle Port, Tanaris. To make grilled squid, you need to fish for winter squid, which can be caught in the fall and winter equinox, which is from September 23rd, 2019 to March 20th, 2020. You won't be able to catch winter squid again until September 22nd, 2020. You can catch winter squid in ocean waters, with your best locations being in the Bay of Storms in Ashara. Keep in mind, you'll need a minimum fishing skill of 330 to fish there and 425 to not lose any fish. Other zones that you can catch winter squid is Tanaris, Feralis, and the hinterlands. Grilled squid is currently selling between 1 to 2 gold per item, but will likely go up in value when out of season. Nightfin soup is my go-to moneymaker when I am leveling both my fishing and cooking professions, because it is used by druids, hunters, mages, holy paladins, priests, shamans, and warlocks. You can also purchase this recipe from Gikix, and to make nightfin soup you need to catch nightfin snapper. Unlike winter squid, nightfin snapper can be caught all year long, but this one is dependent on the current server time. Nightfin snapper can be best caught from midnight to 6 in the morning, but also during these times shown here. You will not be able to catch nightfin from noon to 1800 server time. This fish can be caught in the open waters of lakes and rivers, with my go-to zones being Moonglade and Feralis. Other zones they can be caught in is the West and Eastern Plaguelands, the Hinterlands, Fellwood, Winterspring, Ashara, Ungoro Crater, and Deadwind Pass. Nightfin soup is currently selling for around 1 to 2 gold per item. Lastly, we've got Sagefish Delight, which is the poor man's nightfin soup. It is used by all the same classes as nightfin soup, and to cook it, you need to catch greater sagefish. This fish is also only found in lakes and rivers, but can be caught in pools of greater sagefish only. I find the best location to find these pools is in Stranglethorn Vale, but they can also be found in Lordamer Lake along the shores of the Alterac Mountains. This is a great recipe to sell while you're in your 30s, because they sell for between 3 to 5 gold per stack and help you start your funding for your level 40 mount. There's really only one food to talk about in this category, and that's Savory DV8 Delight. It offers no stat benefits and instead allows players to transform themselves into either a pirate or ninja depending on the gender of the character. To obtain this recipe, you will have to farm endless mobs in the Barrens or purchase one from the auction house for an absurd price. Once you have it, you need to fish for deviate fish, which can only be caught in the 3 forgotten pools in the Barrens and the lake inside the Wailing Caverns. I have seen this food sell for wildly expensive prices as well as terribly low prices at times, so keep an eye on it to know when the best time for you to sell it is. In general, I have always been able to get near 5 gold per stack. Thank you very much for watching this guide on cooking for gold. If you believe I missed an item that you're making a good amount of gold from, please let me know in the comments below, and I will look into adding them in future content I create for Classic WoW. Remember to please like, subscribe, and click on that bell to be notified of future content I create, as well as be alerted for when I go live for my weekend stream. You can also follow me on Twitter at @ClassicWow, and you can find that link in the video description. For some of my other content, you can click on any of these links here. Thank you again for watching, and remember, if you cook a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but teach a man to fish, and you get rid of him for the whole weekend.